Delta County Clerk. Please rise for a word of prayer. Lord, as we begin this meeting, we are thankful for our many blessings. We ask for guidance to help our commissioners make decisions in the best interests of the citizens of our county. And Lord, we pray for the safety of our military men and women. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Commissioner Melner?
Here.
Commissioner View? Excused.
He is excused.
Okay. Commissioner Crosdell?
Here.
Commissioner Vangenhoven?
Here.
And Commissioner Jensen.
Here. Okay, welcome everybody. We will move on to approval of the minutes. County Board minutes of 9/17/24. I need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. There was no committee of the whole. We need a motion to approve the agenda as written.
So moved. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Presentation of written communication received and forwarded. It's all in our packet. Need a motion to put those on file.
I'll make the motion to put them on file. Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Reports of standing statutory and special committees and others. Let's see. Public comment on agenda items.
We have to
Oh.
put those on file.
We have to put them on
I'm sorry.
file. There's, let's
Need a
see.
Human
motion.
Services
Says
Board.
board.
Oops, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, I'm sorry, Ashley, go ahead.
Human Services Board of July 25th, Public Health of August 13th, Airport Advisory Board minutes of August 27th, September 9th, and September 13th. And then, that would be all.
Okay. Can I get a motion to put those on file?
So-
I'll make a motion to put those on file.
Support.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Now, public comment on agenda items. Public comment on agenda items. Going once, going twice. Okay, we will continue. Administrators report.
I just want to give a clarification on some personnel statistics I did during my budget presentation. In the previous statement, I reported that the average annual earnings of our employees to be $63,000. That included overtime. However, I believe providing a more precise representation of the compensation would be more helpful in categorizing the employees. So the following elected officials, and this is also including, or excluding overtime. Elected officials excluding the commissioners is 78,123. Commissioners at 9,727. Department heads at 75,142. Supporting staff at $43,077, and public safety at $59,193. That would be all.
Okay, can I have a motion to put administrators report on file?
Motion to put administrator's report on file.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Finance Committee meetings of 9/19/24. We did not have a quorum.
No.
Number 3, Personnel Committee minutes from 9/23/24.
You want me to go over them?
Yes.
Okay. So Commissioner View and myself met On September 23rd, we had some old business, some new business. The old business was the evaluation template, which you will see on your agenda this evening, along with the interim employment policy, is also on the agenda this evening. It was our intention, Commissioner View and myself, to include the information in the agenda packet and to have discussion this evening on this, and to see as the commission as a whole has any questions or concerns or would like to see any changes. So we would just like those items to be for discussion only, but recommend that there's no action taken tonight on those items. The district court magistrate came up, and we agreed with what finance had also recommended on that. And that pretty much sums it up.
Okay. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to put the finance committee minutes
Personnel.
personnel, I'm sorry, as corrected, from 9/23/24 on file.
Can I get a
I'll
second?
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion passed.
It's so weird with Steve not
I know.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Department
There he is.
heads, updates.
Oh, okay.
Any department updates? Any department updates? Seeing none, we will move down to general orders of business, unfinished business. Number one, airport RFP, aviation fuel supply agreement.
Good evening, members of the board and members of the public. I am here to request that the board please table this piece of business until the following meeting. I can provide you a progress report as how we are pursuing it, but as Commissioner Van Genhoven and Commissioner Jensen are aware, there was a large agreement between us and the company that we are potentially entering into this fuel supply agreement with, a large written proposal. That is one of, as it turns out to be, 4 separate agreements that together would be a holistic agreement that would provide us software services, bulk fuel sales, as well as trucks at the airport that we would receive on a lease. So we're working with these 4 separate documents, and I've been working very closely with Attorney Wickwire over the past several weeks, bouncing these back and forth between the airport, the company, and the county attorney to make sure that everyone is satisfied and that all the protections are put in place and all the agreements are worded correctly. So my intent moving forward is to have the final drafts of these agreements, the final versions prepared on the 14th for the airport board meeting, so I can bring it before the airport board for a final review, and then on the 15th, bring it before the county board for approval. And I understand there is another agenda item on here, possibly moving that October 15th meeting. If that meeting is moved to an earlier date, I'm cautiously optimistic that I'll be able to have the final results ready or the final documents ready for the county board. I just would not be able to give the airport board a final courtesy viewing of those documents, but the airport board did motion that I was able to bring the documents before the county board after all the final changes have been made. So we don't need to bring them before the airport board again, but I think a courtesy look would be fine. But I anticipate getting the last round of inputs from our county legal counsel back by no later than tomorrow afternoon, and then I will forward all those suggestions and inputs to the various companies and hopefully get their feedback by the end of the week. So in theory, I could have all those documents and agreements ready for your review early next week.
Nice, thank you.
Move to table.
I'll second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. I'm gonna do this on table. Okay, new business, payment of bills.
I have examined all claims presented and recommend payment of the following, and that the county clerk be directed to issue orders on the county treasurer to the claimants for the amounts allowed. $524,695.73, and commissioner expenses of 0.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills for a total of $524,695.73.
Can I get a second?
I'll support that. I am in attendance. Sorry I was a little bit late. Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
Any discussion? I do need a roll call.
Buick.
Yes.
Crosdell.
Yes.
Van Genhoven.
Yes.
Jensen.
Yes.
And Melnick.
Yes. Okay, our bills are paid. We move on to number 2, 2024 winter tax rate update.
In your packet, you'll see updated for the 2024 winter tax rate. These are our millages that are collected. We also have Shalice in the audience if you have any questions for her.
Any questions? A motion to accept?
I'll move that we accept the tax rate presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion pass. Okay. Number 3, MIDC fiscal year 2025 grant agreement.
We have been approved for the fiscal year 25 MIDC grant of $888,926.70. We match this grant with $110,448.96. That's included in that 800,000. We've already included this in our budget, so I'm looking for the next steps of having the board approve to accept the agreement and have Commissioner Melner be the signator for the grant.
You gotta bring donuts next meeting.
Next meeting.
I'll make the motion to accept the MIDC fiscal year 25 grant agreement.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Number 4, State of Michigan University Extension Memorandum Agreements, fiscal year 2025.
MSUE has submitted its annual request for Delta County's agreement to continue receiving their services. This year, the proposed fee for these services has increased about 3.4%, totaling $52,800. The county has already budgeted this for our fiscal year 2025, so we're just looking for our approval.
I'll move that we approve the MSU service agreement at 52,000.
800.
52,800.
52,800.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Number 5, Healthcare Hard Cap Solution.
I was thinking number 5 was.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Sorry about that. This is our, to select one of 4 options for the publicly funded healthcare insurance contributions. The county has budgeted for the adoption of the hard cap in fiscal year 25, and the hard cap has been selected for numerous years.
Okay,
Do you need to read the whole it's a resolution, so we'll have to normally read the entire resolution.
the number?
Correct? Oh. Yeah.
I can read it if you would like. To adopt the hard cap costs sharing model as set forth in the Publicly Funded Healthcare Insurance Contribution Act number 152 of 2011, whereas on September 20th, 2011, the Publicly Funded Health Insurance Contribution Act number 152 of the Public Act of Michigan of 2011, Act 152, became effective in the state of Michigan. And whereas pursuant to 152, Act 152, communities are given 4 options for complying with the requirements of the act, depending on the impact of the act on the employees of each public employer. And whereas the 4 options set forth in Act 152 are as follows: apply the hard cap, adopt by majority vote the 80-20 cost-sharing model, opt out of the cost-sharing model as set forth in the bill and revisit prior to the next plan year, elect to not follow the statute non-compliance. Now therefore it be it resolved that the Delta County Board of Commissioners has determined it will adopt the hard cap cost sharing model as its choice of compliance obligations under Act 152.
Okay,
Are we looking at the 80-20, or we're looking at the aggregate of
The hard cap.
the hard cap? I'll move that we adopt the resolution accepting the hard cap portion of that resolution.
can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed.
Remember, yeah, with it being a resolution, I believe we have to have a roll call vote.
Okay.
I think so, being the resolution's, the formal adoption.
Okay, Commissioner View,
Yes.
Commissioner Crosdell,
Yes.
Commissioner Van Genhoven.
Yes.
Jensen,
Yes.
and Melner.
Yes. Verse 6, evaluation template.
See, you want to bring up a
You just-
motion to bring it up for discussion? Is that how you want to do it?
Yes.
Since that's how
Yeah.
we did it?
I'll make a
Yeah.
motion that we bring up the evaluation of our administrator to the table.
The evaluation template.
Template, yes.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I can speak on
Discussion?
this a little bit. This was something that the administrator, Commissioner Van Genhoven, and I have worked on over the last couple of months. And we thought in the committee part that now was time to bring it forward to the board to look at, get some suggestions, things that look good or don't look good, and the public can have an opportunity to look at it, the feedback, give us some feedback as each commissioner before we pass it. And what it has done is, our administrator has broken it down really good for us. I mean, she's really been helpful. She has a section that has peer evaluation, a section on commissioner evaluation, and the third section was, I forgot.
Self-evaluation.
Yep, it's not as detailed, but she's gonna give us some feedback on what she feels is important. So I think it's a good start right now for all of us to look at it. I mean, we can beat it forever, but right now it just looks really good to bring forward.
And I've mentioned this before, I think it's a great form. In fact, I can see this one being utilized for our other department heads as templates. And I guess if I look at one thing, and this goes back to my prior working with them, and I'm not sure about our airport manager, if his previous experience on evaluations, if it's in that baseline, that's average. That's one of those where no comments, no bullets. But if you're gonna go, like 4, you need at least 1. If it's 5, you need at least 2 comments to be able to substantiate what you're putting. Same thing if it's on the bottom end. If it's a 2, you need at least 1. If it's a 1, you need at least 2. This way it makes people have to actually put something instead of, well, I like them or I don't like them, so I'm just gonna put a 1. You need to be able to substantiate what you're putting down there. That kind of also helps keep people from outside that are doing the evaluation, makes them objective on what they're
Accountable,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
accountable.
Yep.
So you'd like to put it in the instructions for the review that if you are to give our administrator a 1 or 2 rating, they have to provide critiques as to why, and then if she were to receive a 9 or 10 for an exceptional rating, then they would have to say
Exactly.
why.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yep.
I
And then
can see
that way
that.
it
Yeah.
keeps them accountable.
That's fine. I'd be up for that.
Absolutely, and actually, what I would recommend, once you look at this and just process it over the next 2 weeks, I think we're gonna have another personnel committee. If you could get your comments sent back to the personnel committee to
Yeah.
look at, and we can see if we want to incorporate that or not. So that,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Yep.
reason we're
Nope.
doing it this way. Before, it would be just bring to the board and approve it, but I think we need a 2-week layover at least on this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
To kind of digest it and see what the public has to say.
Any other? ideas? Did
No, I
have
think
any
you guys
ideas?
did a great job on it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yes, very nice job.
did
Well,
very good.
Commissioner Van,
Again,
Kelly.
Commissioner Kelly.
Commissioner,
Please call me Commissioner Kelly.
well, I will oblige right now. I have a different. I'll practice that later, but she brought a lot of effort into this process with her experience through the city of Escanaba. So we got to thank the city of Escanaba too, because it mirrors a lot what they do.
Yep, I really feel like a 360 evaluation template helps all involved, and it helps for a more collaborative effort between, between our staff, looking at more of a team approach versus a hierarchy approach. So I think we're going in the right direction. But no action is needed on this at this
Okay.
time.
Okay,
Okay?
no action needed, and we'll move on to interim employment policy.
Same procedure. It's something we worked on over the last couple of personnel committee meetings. Me and Commissioner Van Ginhoven.
Did you want a motion?
No,
So
we didn't,
You just want
There's
to,
gonna be no
Just
action on it, just
discussion.
discussion.
yeah, no action taken.
We decided as a group again to just bring it forward to the commission, to critique it, get input, if they like it or not. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I'm not gonna go over everything, but like I said, we're gonna have another personnel committee prior to the next meeting, and I would welcome input to be sent to our administrator on anything that you see that would be challenging or alarming, or if it's good, just let us know. No action needs to be taken on it.
No action.
The biggest thing I like about this, it just gives us a step back before we have to make a decision on something so we can process it. And I felt really pressured months ago on trying to make last-minute decisions and not having public talk to me or me just think about it. So I really believe we did ourselves a good service for the whole board
Yeah.
and the county by doing it this way.
I was
You
gonna
did,
say,
you did good.
one thing I liked when you did it is your changes are obviously red, but then the other portions you actually did the strike through on.
Yeah.
That makes
Ashley
it a
did
whole
that.
lot easier to
Yep,
see what was there,
exactly.
what's changed,
Yeah, Ashley
and
did a
and
great
what's
job.
new. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, and we requested
Very
that.
nice.
That's the way we liked it.
Yeah.
It's hard to comprehend what it changes if you
No,
don't
it-
have that
yeah.
reference.
If you don't have it there.
Except when we're sitting in personnel and we're looking at the wrong document. Okay, sorry.
Okay,
Thanks, Ashley.
okay, that was,
So no action on
Discussion?
7, yeah.
And then
Number 8.
number 8, we were going to, I'll make a motion that we table number 8, the IT
Support.
job description.
all in favor?
Aye.
Well, I'd like to ask a question. Why are we tabling it? I mean, is there something in there that I missed or is it money-wise or?
No.
No, we're just bringing it to finance.
Finance.
We had,
Okay, it wasn't brought
Yeah.
to finance yet.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely then.
And
Okay.
that's gonna be the same with the
Same thing with the
item number
district
9
court.
too.
Yeah.
It hadn't gone through finance.
Because, well, no,
this
part,
one went
no.
through finance.
Or, yeah, but
Number
not
9,
with,
Judge Parks couldn't be here tonight to present, so
Right.
he asked that we put it for the next agenda item.
yeah.
So we're gonna table that one also.
Yeah.
We
So on the first one,
IT
DIT,
was tabled and we moved already, right?
We
did the
didn't
motion
vote
support.
yet.
We did the motion and support. Did we vote?
No.
No.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Number 9, And that one is, I need a motion to table number 9. because-
I'll make a motion to
judge-
table, is that the magistrate one with
Yes.
Stretch Parks? I'll
Yeah.
make a motion that we table that.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion passed. Number 10, keep or cancel October 15th meeting. What's everybody's take?
I'm willing to be here.
So, given the fact that we have the potential AEG contract coming with the airport, I would like to keep it just so that we're not putting the pressure on our airport board or Administrator Ransdaller to get it done in a week.
Okay,
Well, for the-
That's just my thing, that's just
Well,
my thing.
I'll
you know?
move that we keep the meeting for October 15th.
I need a second.
A second.
Okay, then we'll see what the board wants.
Any,
I don't think we need to put,
We don't need a,
We don't need a motion? Okay,
No.
it's
Okay.
just, so
We
it,
don't need a motion to keep it.
got
okay.
it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
because it's already there, right?
Look at us, ready for the
look at the
motions.
good back support we have.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, we are keeping the
The
October
15th, yeah.
15th meeting.
Okay.
Okay, general public comment. General public comment.
Linda Bradley, Brampton Township. I would just like to congratulate John on his appointment to the MAC board.
There you go. Any more public comment? Any more public comment? Not seeing none. We'll move on to commissioner comments. Commissioner Crosdell.
Yes, I too, congratulations, John. Well-deserved for the UP and for you to carry us through. The only thing that I did since the last meeting was I went to the Delta County Township Association meeting. They had the speaker, Paul Geyer, from Delta County Emergency Management Coordinator, and he talked about several different emergency things, especially that what they learned and what they did, what they needed to work on with being at the Gladstone School back in August. Things went very well, but there was things that needed to be tweaked. He said that that would be a once-a-year thing in August, possibly looking at the Escanaba High School this coming up August, but not definite on that. So yeah, that's about it for me. Thank you and have a good night.
Commissioner View.
Once again, what an honor for our county to have of our own commissioners elected to represent us, the whole UP. Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
I'm honored to know you. I mean, it's great to see people take leadership roles among the peers, so I just want to thank you for stepping up and doing that. I also want to thank you. I could speak a lot about Enbridge. All four of us commissioners, Chairman Melner brought us to their site up in St. Ignace, and I would recommend anyone in the public that wants to know how they're protecting the safety of that pipeline, talk to any one of us commissioners. We can easily guide you on what we learned and get you in touch with people that can really explain it better than we can. But I just wanted to, that was one of our little field trips on our trip downstate. I also want to let people know this is the Small Business Development Center. The lady represents the whole UP and part of downstate. This is free. This is quite a big book. I've been reading it because I may want to have my business evaluated. Whether you have a business, starting a business, they offer amazing amount of information to process everything you're planning on doing. And get a hold of me. I will pass, I have some extra books if somebody wants them. I see all the people in the public raising their hands, so I'll have to get some more. The reason I'm mentioning it, because in her presentation at one of the sessions I was at, they cannot advertise this service. They are not allowed to spend 1 penny on advertising. So she asked the members in the presentation to speak about it at their boards or commission meetings and stuff. So that's why I'm bringing that up. I have a lot to say, but I'm gonna cut it kind of short
You're fine.
for what I normally do.
We're not at the 3-hour mark yet.
No, I'm trying to look at what time it is, 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, my other committee meeting was with Pinecrest meeting on September 26th. I just want to inform the board that Pinecrest is a 120-bed facility, and if I repeat this over and over, I think it's significant to understand this. But we are licensed for, if I'm not mistaken, 69 beds. And the reason for that is state funding or federal funding. You have to meet a certain 85% of your bed capacity. And we have not been able to get up to the 120-bed capacity. We have 59 patients as of this date in Pinecrest. The staff is needed for 59 patients is 50. If we went up to the 120-bed capacity, we would need 100 staff members. So the efficiency of this operation is moving forward I'm pushing to get that up to 120 beds. There's a lot of talk on the board to make it permanently less than the 120 beds, like 85 beds. And if you do that, it's very difficult once you downgrade your facility. This is a pretty big facility, so I think we need to use it to capacity to be efficient. And the other thing I asked was, well, in order to increase the facility, if we had an influx of people, how long would it take to rate the state and say, hey, we're at 69, or, I mean, don't quote me on the figures, but it's close to that. You know, say we want to get it up to, 85. It takes 30 days. So if you have an influx at any given moment, these people are not going to be able to wait. They're going to end up trying to find other places, even in Wisconsin and that. So that was a concern of the board. We talked a little bit about that. The other thing that I thought was interesting, they cannot accept people that are prior sex offenders or prisoners. And I kind of question that because most of them are 24/7 care. And they're under great supervision, all the time, but I guess that's a law that I didn't know about, and I just wanted to put that out there to people. We switched our financial software. I asked about the cost of it. They'll have it at the next meeting, because sometimes that can be pretty expensive when you go from one venue of software to another. The other thing that I voted down, I was the only vote in the meeting, is towards a portion of the meeting, one of the maintenance guys spoke and made a verbal request to spend $8,440 on a non-budgeted item to fix a heat exchanger in the Cedar Grove building, which isn't being used by anyone, but there's the potential to make that an adult foster care apartments. They're trying to get licensed for that. And my question to him is, he should have had some documentation. We need to look at what he's doing. He said he didn't have to bid it out because only one person can do that. And without any documentation or written stuff, I just could not support that. because I thought that, Bell and Gossen was the only one that he said they could do it, and then he was gonna do all the work. And I don't know the rules and regulations, but because it wasn't on the agenda, I didn't have documentation, and I don't know the rules of the liability. He said it was steam, but that doesn't mean nothing to me. You know, you're replacing a heat exchanger if you don't connect the pipe up right or something. I thought to myself, what happens if it leaks or burns somebody or something? It's non-pressurized. I mean, I don't know what that means either outside. I know what pressure is. You open something up with pressure, it's gonna explode. But steam can still come out on a non-pressurized stuff. So if you hear anything about my negative vote on that, that is the reason why. I just thought he needed a permit, you have to have a license to work on it, and no inspection was required. And it was last minute, that was the key. It was thrown in the last minute. The other thing that I would like to bring to the board's attention, Pinecrest is owed a sum of $3 million. And I'm not familiar with this, but I might check with our financial wizard over there someday before the next meeting. And it has to do, and it's owed from the last 3 years. We're owed $3 million there. But the IRS says differently, and they're looking for someone to help them fight to get that money back. And it has something to do with a payroll tax credits through 941s. They haven't been receiving them credits or something, and so there's a big disagreement. They're thinking of bringing in Mr. Bergman and all this other stuff, so I thought I would bring that to the board to let them know that there is an issue with some discrepancy. 3 million isn't a small amount. And other board members there were questioning the same thing, that we need to get answers to what's happening there on this issue, because we need that money to run that department, and maybe that'll help us fill the beds up by having, be able to pay employees. Also, there was a lot going on at Pinecrest. We received a handout. It's a couple of pages with it says September 2024 citations. It's very disturbing to read these if you're not familiar with what they mean. And I'm not going to read them, but there's a lot of stuff in here that, as a board, we asked the administrator to go through this and give us the correct answers of what it means, and if these are what they are written to be. You know, because, you know,
Who wrote that?
someone spoke at public comment, and before she spoke, she handed this out. So I think it's worth looking into. If people on the commission wants to see it, I can scan it and give everyone a copy, just to, accusations don't mean they're true, okay? And that's why I don't want to publicly say anything in here. Also, just because they're accusations don't mean they're false either. So we did our due diligence on the board and requested a look into these citations. Because that's the reputation of Pinecrest if this stuff gets out. So we just want verification on whether they're true or not. Also, remember, I still got this email, and I did talk to Andrew Wittenauer, who is requesting that if and when we decide to do something about Pinecrest to public-private partnership or something like that, he would assist us, and he's been doing it all over the county, country. And he said it's been working out good because they have the same issue there under public management sometimes when nobody has oversight but a board, and it doesn't look like you're trying to do the best to run it in a I don't want to say something negative, but I guess I did. Why ain't we at 120 beds? Why are we down to 55, and why are we trying to keep it at less than what its full capacity is. And I think that's something the whole board, we talked about that, and we're gonna be looking into, stuff like that. There's a real good, new commissioner on there from, Menominee that's really into this. And he's gonna be very helpful on that board for this stuff. We also went into it's a workplace performance incentive program. We requested it be rewritten, and to make it simple is, if you never miss a day, in 30 days, you get a bonus. I'm thinking, let's see, what is it, $300? That's how, yeah, right here. $300. Well, they changed it because what happened is somebody on the 30th day actually hit a deer and couldn't make it in on time, or, the car, call the public safety and do all this stuff. She lost her bonus. And it's happened many times, so we thought management should have something where they could appeal that and look at the circumstances that could be justified for reasons beyond the employee's control. And I think the employees like it, and so does management. So we approved a new statement into that policy, which I think was good. Okay, let me shift gears to another one thing that I thought was pretty important. I've been really busy. I mean,
like
we
it.
all have.
No, we like
No,
it.
we all have been busy.
Yes, keep going.
This is what we call, what is this one? North Woods Rail Transit Commission. I came back early one day to attend this. I could have did it online, but like I talked to the chair, online would not give me a say as the way I speak up at a meeting. So I went there, and we had a beautiful presentation by Penwin Industries. It's Ty Pika. He's going to present in October to the UP commissioners on his process to eliminate landfills. And I brought up, I said, geez, we're putting money in here, we're gonna be developing another cell. And so, I mean, I asked a lot of questions. There's Menominee, Ontonagon, not Schoolcraft, but Dickinson, and another one I can't remember, that are all wanting to have a decision made at the UP conference. And he's gonna put his presentation there, but what they're looking for is to establish a joint task force to identify places to put it, the rail system to support it, for the preserving and development of it. And the thing that piqued my interest, and at the same time, our Senator McBroom was there. Who's the other guy from? Marty Fatanti, and a bunch of other commissioners. I mean, these are people that are listening. We're just dialogue. There's no guarantee on nothing. But he explained how this process works. And don't be scared. It's $500 million to get one going. They're looking for a place in the UP to put it. All the commissioners there, $500 million.
This is the startup one that was at the last UP conference?
Well, that's part of it. It's the same setup.
Okay.
They developed it since last time, where the military is putting one on an aircraft carrier. That's, I mean, they think there's significance in it. And me, along with these other commissioners, we're hepped on it, but we haven't had any proven data on how it works. And he said that he is looking for grant funding of it. And the place that, I don't know if it was Title 17 or something from the federal government, where they will not even look at you unless you need over $100,000 or $100 million. You know, so, I mean, he's moving on it, and I just want to inform the board that we should kind of listen to what he has to say and then critique it later on. And what I liked mostly was all the landfills that have been capped can be uncapped and put through this process and that land made wholesome again. This is him talking to us as commissioners, to our senators, to our representatives, and now we'll see where it goes at the higher level than the commission, if there's any interest. And where I said I want it in Delta County. Right away, I said, Delta County, CNN, partner with CNN, the tracks, the deep water port, either Gladstone or Escanaba, the ore docks. So there's a lot of potential there. Another guy wants it up in Ontonagon. The reason is their landfill, I think he said, is only good for another year or so. And then they gotta spend whatever it is to build a new landfill. I said, I'm kinda happy with our landfill. We're good for I think 95 years, you know? So that was pretty interesting too, along with the rail system. We need to have rail system to ship the stuff in and out. We don't have enough garbage, I don't wanna say garbage, waste material to operate one of these, so we would have to, he said there's a big boom with employment and people from taking the waste out of Canada and processing it. People say a lot of stuff. There's no documentation or
There's
backing
nothing
on
on
it.
this, yeah.
Well, it's not recognized by the state of Michigan right now, but that's what they're trying to do.
Did you ever get a hold of Madeline at MAC? Because she asked you.
I'm gonna, he's gonna
Okay.
put a presentation on with Mac. But you can't say there's no relevance to this because there's Sweden, Finland, they all have operating gas plasmation systems. And he said if Sweden has it, we're behind the times, and if Finland has it, we're behind the times. Who am I? I'm just a commissioner. I gotta look at this stuff and see if there's any reality to it. I'm excited about it because I believe in science fiction coming true. I watched the Jetsons when I was a kid. And what that means is, look at I thought we would have a phone where you'd pick it up and you'd see them there. Well, we got pocket phones that do a lot more than what happened there.
Did you watch Lost in Space too?
Oh, yeah. Johnny Quest, you probably don't even remember that.
I remember Johnny Quest.
But that was all, all science fiction that has, a lot of stuff has coming forth to be true. We have an opioid meeting on Friday the 3rd. Please show up. The 4th? Well, see, that's why you say Friday, that way you can look at the right date. Friday the 4th. And other than that, thank the public for putting up with my ability to speak. Thank you.
Commissioner Kelly.
I don't know if I can follow that.
You can, I left the Mac for you. For
Oh,
everything.
thanks. So, I just want to thank the county for giving me the opportunity to go down for my first MAC conference. It was great. I had an amazing time. I learned a lot with the breakout sessions. I was proud to vote for John Malner for a board position. John's been a great mentor to me, so congratulations on that. I would like to express on behalf of the commission our condolences to Steve Weary for the loss of his father. Steve Weary is our parks manager, so we send our condolences his way. Let's see, Commissioner Jensen and I will be starting our Citizen Planner Program tomorrow up in Nagani. It'll run through middle of November, and that will help us have a better idea for Planning Commission and for the county overall. We have, the Delta County Chamber of Commerce dinner is October 11th. I'll be attending that. I think John's gonna go too.
Yes.
Yes. And then the Escanaba Trunk or Treat is going to be October 20th at 4 p.m. They're gonna close Ludington Street down from, I think it's 11th and 12th Street. So bring your kids. It's part of the Teal Pumpkin Project for kids who have allergies. You can choose to give out candy, or you can give a non-food item for kids who have allergies, and it's free to participate in. You just have to have a trunk and dress up, and then provide the items for the kids. Lastly, I just started a program, the YES program, Youth Empowerment Services, a mentoring program that's lasts throughout the school year. It's an awesome opportunity to mentor kids in need in our community. It's 1 hour a week, actually 45 minutes per location, and they're at every school, and they just expanded into Kearney as well. So today I had my first experience with the Escanaba Student Success Center. It was amazing. I would recommend that if anybody had a free hour of time, that they sign up to be a mentor. Male mentors are definitely in need right now, and so if you have a free hour of time, I would highly suggest it. And tomorrow I'll be going to Bay Pines, so I'll be doing 1 day a week at the Student Center and 1 day a week at Bay Pines, and so I would highly encourage anyone interested in mentoring to contact Tiffany Hewitt. I still call her Tiffany Leighton. Tiffany Hewitt at the Youth Empowering Services Office if you want to mentor. That's all. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Commissioner Jensen.
Again, congratulations. For those that don't know, it's definitely a huge honor and a big deal for Commissioner Melner to be elected to the Board of Commissioners for MAC. They actually do an amazing amount of stuff, but also what goes on. They're a wonderful conduit, what's going on within the legislature as stuff goes through the process to make sure, especially as things come up, that we're aware of them, that, let's face it, sometimes the legislature is really good about sliding things through, and they are definitely a check on them just being able to slide things through. A good one that immediately jumps out of them trying to do that was the issue over septic tank legislation they're trying to push. And lo and behold, when nobody's in session over the summer, how many changes they managed to make to this bill that nobody would have been made aware of otherwise. So they are an amazing organization that does a lot that helps not just keep us informed, but as we find out stuff that has to work up through the legislature, besides working with our legislatures, they're another avenue to be able to get it out to our fellow commissioners at large, and also to determine if they're having similar issues, and now they can actually, help go to bat with that as we go forward. One of the other things besides the citizen planning course coming up, I wanted to put out some kudos to Corey and his guys. The garage over the sheriff's department, as you know, previously there were the RFPs that were out to have the concrete done. I believe that was at our last meeting. Corey and the maintenance guys did an amazing job with all the prep work as far as running all the radiant heat and stuff in the floor. That allowed us to obviously get a much better price on the installation of that concrete. The concrete is installed and that building is now ready for winter. It is actually extremely helpful with that being done, because now when we do the various ice rescues throughout the year, I'm hoping this year is not as busy as last year, but you never know. When we take it out, it still has to dry out on the backside. And we were having to put it into different joint service garages, and then, the maintenance guys would actually go back and check. If it was dry, they would move that back around, which is time out of their day to move that back around, where now, it'll actually free up man hours for them as well. One of the other highlights for me from the MAC conference was one of my breakout sections actually dealt with the Park and Recreation. And the presentations themselves had some really neat ideas, but of course, it's also the conversations and the networking that you have with your fellow commissioners that actually had some interesting ideas, and those will be starting to come out in our Park and Rec committee here as we start to move forward. But there'll be definitely some neat items that can come up. The best part is when you have those items that don't necessarily drive any cost, but yet can have a big impact for not just our residents, but to help attract people here. So, again, that's even more of a win when we're not having to necessarily pay for an item going in, but it'll have big impact to help bring people into our community to, once again, help make us a destination. So those will be coming out here in the near future, especially as we continue to work on the 5-year recreation plan going forward. With that, I think that's that for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Nancy?
Nothing for me, thanks, other than congratulations.
Thank you.
Great, I just wanted to say congratulations over at, I turned off my microphone. Congratulations on the election of the MAC board. I'm really excited to see what you're gonna bring towards there because you are definitely representing Delta County, so thank you.
Okay, on that, it was a really nice MAC board to go to. This was probably one of the best ones I went to, mainly because I got elected also. But we did go through Enbridge. They call it Eastmock, is where all their computers and where they watch the Straits of Mackinac. And Enbridge actually had a breakout session at MAC, and they asked me to be on their board to actually discuss what I seen that day before. So that was pretty interesting, being on that. It was very interesting. So, other than that,
Next meetings.
Next meetings.
next meeting. We have finance meeting 10/3/24 at 8:30, room 222, courthouse. We have a statutory board of commissioners meeting on 10/8/24 at 5:15 in the service room. Notifications, 10-day notice,
30-day.
30-day appointments.
30-day appointments, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Is there, I think there's a list of them, isn't there? No? Okay. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No?
Opposed? Yeah.
Good at a half hour, but.